The Quadrantid meteor shower might see up to 100 meteors per hour. The winter circle continues to dominate the night sky. There are a trio of planets to be found in the morning sky. Mercury and Mars come within kissing distance of one another. And Mercury also reaches greatest morning elongation. Welcome back to another episode of What's in the Night Sky for January 2024. It's the first episode of the new year, so I'm wishing you all a cloud-free 2024. Anyway, let's find out what January has in store for us. So January starts with fireworks, both literally and metaphorically, with the Quadrantid meteor shower. And if you're lucky enough to catch the peak, you might see up to 100 meteors per hour. But why do you have to be lucky? Well, first of all, you need to be in the northern hemisphere, as the radiant point of the shower is found close to the Big Dipper asterism, which is found in the north of the northern hemisphere night sky. Secondly, the peak of this meteor shower only lasts mere hours. So you have to have a bit of luck that the peak occurs when it is nighttime on your side of Earth. The peak is expected to occur sometime between the night of the 3rd and the 4th, with the best guesses being around 12:53 Universal Time on January the 4th. During this time, a last quarter moon will rise around midnight, hindering the smaller meteors from shining through. So long story short, head out on the night of the 3rd and pray that the peak falls sometime before midnight for your location, and you might be rewarded with 100 meteors per hour. Now let's take a general look at the northern hemisphere night sky, the highlight of course being the winter constellations, and particularly the winter circle asterism, which is pretty much above the horizon as darkness falls now. These conspicuous constellations with their bright stars arch across the southern skies, following the bright Jupiter, but we'll talk more about the planets later. Once the winter constellations have started to sink into the western skies, it's actually a good time to grab a winter Milky Way arch panorama from about 2:30 AM onwards. Facing north towards the circumpolar constellations, as darkness falls, Ursa Major starts the night low on the northeastern horizon, but quickly climbs high into the sky as time passes. And a faint band of the Milky Way can be found standing vertically against the horizon in the northwest, with the Cygnus region right on the horizon and climbing up to the Cassiopeia region. In the southern hemisphere, the winter circle is known as the southern summer circle, and it can be found high in the north-northeast as darkness falls. Orion and Co will be upside down compared to the northern hemisphere view, and from here they arch across the northern horizon from right to left, again following the bright Jupiter across the sky. They will sink into the west and set before the morning light. Facing south towards the circumpolar constellations, there is a bright fuzzy region of the Milky Way in the south-southeast. It's sprinkled with southern gems like the Crux constellation, Coalsack Nebula, and Carina Nebula. A little bit higher is the Vela region of the Milky Way, which is home to the Gum Nebula, which is a fantastically huge hydrogen alpha target for those of you with astro-modified cameras. Now let's take a look at the planets, and the following information applies to both northern and southern hemisphere observers. Early risers can enjoy a trio of planets in the morning sky, forming a line in the east. First arises Venus, followed by Mercury, and then Mars. They're also joined by a thin crescent moon on the mornings of the 8th, the 9th, and also the 10th. Then, on the other side of new moon, a thin crescent moon sets along with Saturn on the evening of the 14th in the west. Full moon this month falls on the 25th, and it's known as the wolf moon in Native American and European cultures, as it's thought that wolves were more likely to be heard howling at this time. And to end the month of planetary action, there's a conjunction between Mercury and Mars on the morning of the 27th in the east, where they will be 0.25 degrees apart. That's about half the width of the moon. Mercury will be the brighter of the two at magnitude minus 0.2, with Mars at magnitude 1.3. And that's all I've got for you this month, guys. Now on to the monthly photography competition. For those of you that are new here, every month I set a target subject or theme for people to photograph for a chance to win a prize. As hashtags no longer work like they used to on Instagram, to enter, please add a tag for @WITNS_Alan Wallace on your images. It's not enough to add a mention in the description of the post, it has to be a physical tag on the photo. If you're on Twitter, adding the hashtag WITNS to your post is enough. Third place wins a copy of my Astro Workflow Lightroom presets. Second place wins a Constellation hoodie. And first place wins a copy of my book, Photographing the Night Sky. Last month's theme was the Geminid Meteor Shower, and here are the winners. In joint third is Nightscape Art and Dr. Selva, who both managed to capture colourful fireballs through some clouds. So fair play to you guys for heading out in light of bad weather, and I'm glad you got rewarded with some amazing meteors. In second place is Gergo with this stunning image from Italy. I can only imagine the effort it must have took to get to such a location and spend the entire night there capturing so many meteors, and it definitely warrants a human figure in the foreground to make you feel that effort as a viewer. It's beautifully composed. I mean, you can't fault the Italian Alps for a good landscape foreground, and I love how Orion is kind of peeping from behind the mountain there. And in first place is Anthony with this absolute stunner. I mean, even if it wasn't for the meteors, this would be a beautiful image in its own right, with amazing detail in that faint region of the Milky Way and awesome detail in the hydrogen alpha emission regions in the image as well. So well done to that. This month, let's go for the Winter Circle. It's available at a reasonable time now, and it's something that everyone can capture. So let's see what you can do. What are you most looking forward to this month? Let me know in the comments down below. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the 2024 Unmissable Night Sky events video if you haven't already. And as always, if you're going out to enjoy the night sky anytime soon, I wish you good luck and clear skies.